Chapter 1: The Leap. Pogo was not an ordinary frog. While the other frogs of Willow Pond spent their days basking on warm rocks, croaking lazily to one another, or snapping at buzzing flies, Pogo had different interests. His eyes were always tilted upward, not outward. The sky fascinated him, its endlessness, its mystery. He would sit on his favorite lily pad until dusk, gazing at the stars one by one as they pierced through the velvet dark. Sometimes he would leap as high as he could, legs straining, splashing down into the cool pond water with a resounding plop. Each time he thought, if I jump hard enough, maybe one day I'll break free from the pond and land among the stars. His brothers and sisters laughed at him. Silly Pogo, they croaked. The sky isn't for frogs. But Pogo knew otherwise. There was a feeling deep in his small chest, a restless tug that told him he belonged to something greater. That night, as fireflies lit the reeds and owls hooted from the trees, a streak of light tore across the sky, a meteor. Its reflection shimmered on the water's surface, trembling like a silver path. Pogo puffed his throat, eyes wide with wonder. One day, he whispered, I'll follow you. He didn't know how or when, but he believed it with every beat of his tiny heart. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss more eerie and fascinating tales. Chapter 2: The Discovery. At the far edge of the forest, where frogs seldom dared to wander, humans were busy. Pogo had heard their strange thunder before, metallic roars and fiery lights. Tonight, curiosity pulled him farther than ever before. Through tall grass, across dirt paths, he hopped closer until the trees thinned. There, in a wide clearing, towered a giant silver rocket. Its body gleamed under floodlights, and workers scurried like ants at its base. The air smelled of oil and metal, sharp and unnatural compared to the damp sweetness of the pond. Pogo's throat bubbled nervously, but fascination outweighed fear. He crept closer. He saw a hatch open in the side of a smaller capsule resting on a platform. Inside were blinking panels, wires, and padded walls. It looked like no log or cave Pogo had ever seen. Still, it called to him. With a little hop, he slipped inside. The hatch sealed shut before he could hop back out. He froze. A booming voice echoed over the loudspeakers, T-30 seconds. The ground shook. Pogo clung to a strap with his sticky toes as vibrations rattled the capsule. His heart pounded. Then came the countdown. 10, 9, 8. The engines ignited. Pogo's world became fire, sound, and motion. With a deafening roar, the rocket leapt from Earth, and Pogo leapt with it, higher than any frog had ever dreamed. Chapter 3: First Hop in Zero G. When the shaking stopped, there was silence. Weightlessness replaced the crushing pull he had always known. Pogo opened his eyes cautiously. Instead of clinging to the floor, he was floating. His limbs flailed in panic. His instinct screamed, "Where's the water? Where's the ground?" But as his panic softened, he noticed something. He wasn't sinking or falling, he was drifting gently, like a leaf on the breeze. Carefully, he stretched out a leg and pushed against the wall. To his astonishment, he glided smoothly across the capsule. His eyes sparkled. He puffed his throat and tried again, this time flipping. He somersaulted midair, landing softly against the opposite wall. A sound burst from him, half croak, half laugh. His first hop in space. It wasn't hopping the way frogs knew it on Earth, it was more like flying. His legs, made for leaping, seemed perfectly designed for this new environment. He tried spins, twists, and glides until he floated gracefully like a green acrobat. Loneliness nibbled at him briefly. He missed the chorus of croaks from the pond, but then he thought, no frog has ever done this. I am the first. Pride swelled in his little chest. Chapter 4: The View of Earth. The capsule's window beckoned with a soft glow. Pogo drifted toward it, pressing his round face against the glass. His throat expanded with awe. There below was Earth, not the muddy banks, not the reeds, but the whole world. Blue oceans shimmered like liquid jewels, swirling with clouds shaped like lily flowers. Great stretches of green marked forests he would never hop through, and deserts glowed golden under sunlight. The planet spun slowly, wrapped in delicate wisps of atmosphere. Pogo croaked softly to himself. That's my pond. My home. He felt both enormous and tiny at once. Enormous, because he belonged to something so vast. Tiny, because he was only one frog in an endless cosmos. He thought of the other frogs back home, content on their lily pads. Would they ever believe him if he told them what he saw? Probably not. But maybe, just maybe, when he returned, he could share the wonder in another way. A ripple of courage filled him. Whatever this journey held, he was ready. Chapter 5. The Unexpected Signal. The hum of machinery filled the capsule. Lights blinked in steady patterns. Pogo floated calmly, thinking of the stars, until something unusual broke the silence. Crackle. The radio came alive. Not with human words, but with a melody, strange, haunting, and beautiful. It rose and fell in tones that reminded him of the chorus of frogs at twilight, yet it carried a weight of something far beyond. His throat quivered. The control panel flickered. Buttons glowed. Strange symbols appeared on the screens. Pogo tilted his head, golden eyes wide. Carefully, he stretched out one sticky finger and pressed the brightest button. The melody swelled. Outside the window, a shadow passed, something enormous gliding just beyond view. The capsule shook gently as if touched by unseen hands. Pogo croaked nervously. He pressed his body low, the way frogs do when danger nears. But then, the music grew softer, soothing. It didn't feel like a threat. It felt like a call. Something, or someone, was reaching out to him. Chapter 6. The Alien Encounter. The shadow outside grew clearer. From the dark drifted a vessel unlike the rocket that had carried Pogo. It was sleek and curved, shaped like a silver shell polished by the tides, with no bolts or seams. Soft light radiated from within, as if the ship were alive. Pogo clung to the window as the mysterious craft approached. With a gentle hiss, it latched onto the capsule. The walls trembled faintly, and then, silence. Pogo's throat inflated with fear. Was this danger? Or destiny? The hatch slid open. From the shimmering doorway floated beings unlike anything he had ever seen. They resembled translucent jellyfish, their bodies pulsing with waves of color, violet, green, gold. Instead of walking, they drifted effortlessly, like they were part of the weightless air itself. Pogo's throat trembled. He flattened against the capsule wall, hoping to blend with the shadows. But the beings didn't advance aggressively. They hovered, their glowing tendrils curling gently. Their luminous eyes, if they were eyes, fixed on him with curiosity, not malice. The smallest of them drifted closer, pulsing with a soft blue glow. It extended a tendril toward Pogo. He croaked instinctively, hopping backward into a spin. The aliens rippled with light in response, almost like laughter. And then, Pogo realized, to them, he was the alien. Chapter 7. The Language of Leaps. The silence stretched until Pogo's instincts guided him. He crouched and leapt. In the weightless air, his jump became a graceful arc. He spun once, landed lightly against the wall, and croaked. The aliens reacted instantly. Their bodies pulsed in shimmering colors, flashing patterns that seemed to echo his movement. Encouraged, Pogo puffed his throat and tried again. He twirled in midair, flipping 3 times before floating to a stop. The aliens rippled in brilliant spirals of light, like a chorus of approval. It dawned on him, they were communicating. Not with sounds or words, but with motion and rhythm. Their pulses of color matched the timing of his leaps. Their movements followed his spins. It was like a dance, a language built on joy. So Pogo leapt again, this time experimenting. Short hops, long arcs, spins, pauses. The aliens replied with bursts of light and waves of color. Soon they were weaving together a conversation. He told them he was small but strong. They told him they were travelers of the stars. He showed them pride in his leap. They showed him pride in their glow. By the time the exchange ended, Pogo no longer felt afraid. He wasn't a frog lost in space. He was an ambassador of movement, a dancer in the stars. Chapter 8. A Gift from the Stars. When the rhythm of their dance slowed, the largest of the jelly beings drifted forward. From within its glowing body, it produced something small, a crystal seed. It pulsed with soft warmth, like a heartbeat in his palm when he caught it. The aliens hovered together, forming a circle of light. Their colors pulsed in harmony. Though no words were spoken, Pogo understood their message as clearly as if they'd croaked it aloud. Plant this. It will grow. It will bring a piece of the stars to your home. Pogo clutched the seed against his chest. His golden eyes widened. His pond could shine like the galaxies he had seen through the window. He imagined his brothers and sisters leaping under glowing lilies, the water shimmering with colors unknown to Earth. The aliens pulsed one final pattern, a farewell. Then they retreated into their ship. The vessel detached with a gentle hum and drifted back into the cosmic sea, leaving Pogo alone once more. But now, he wasn't empty-handed. He carried a gift that could change his world. As the alien ship vanished into the stars, Pogo croaked softly, not in fear but in gratitude. Chapter 9, The Return. The capsule jolted. Lights flickered. Earth's blue sphere grew larger in the window. Pogo tucked the crystal seed carefully under his chin, determined to protect it. The descent began with fire. Flames licked the windows as the capsule tore through the atmosphere. The heat rattled the walls, but Pogo stayed still, eyes wide with determination. He had leapt beyond the sky, he would not falter on the return. With a boom, parachutes deployed. The capsule slowed, swaying gently like a leaf in the wind. Finally, with a heavy thud, it landed in a meadow not far from Willow Pond. The hatch burst open. Scientists rushed forward, expecting to find empty equipment. Instead, they froze at the sight of a plump green frog sitting proudly in the capsule's seat, clutching a glowing crystal. Cameras flashed. Voices rose in disbelief. Impossible, one whispered. How did a frog? But Pogo only puffed his throat, unconcerned. They would never know the truth of his journey. As night fell and the humans left, he slipped quietly back to the reeds, the crystal glowing like a secret in his grasp. Chapter 10, The Crystal Pond. Back at Willow Pond, the moonlight shimmered on the water. The frogs croaked lazily, unaware of what their brother had seen. Pogo hopped to the center lily pad and placed the crystal seed gently into the pond. The water rippled. Light spread outward, soft at first, then growing brighter. Lilies blossomed with petals of silver and violet. The water glowed as if the stars themselves had sunk into its depths. Fireflies gathered, confused and dazzled, outshone by this new brilliance. The other frogs croaked in amazement. What magic is this? They asked. Pogo only smiled, puffing his throat with pride. He looked to the sky, where stars twinkled just as they had on that first night of longing. Only now, he no longer felt distant from them. He had leapt beyond the pond, touched the cosmos, danced with beings of light, and brought a gift home. And though he was just one frog, his journey had changed everything. The pond was no longer ordinary. It was a pond of starlight. Pogo croaked softly, a promise to himself. I leapt beyond. And I brought the stars home. And the stars above, silent witnesses to his vow, seemed to twinkle back in approval.